Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to The Mixer, the segment on this channel where I give you guys all sorts of detailed analyses from all walks of life. I'll talk about people, places, animals, food, sports, traveling, the whole 9 yards, hence why it's called The Mixer, because I like to mix things up in this huge playlist here with over 200 videos at this point. It is quite something, man. It is a journey that I've been undertaking in The Mixer, and I'm excited for today's video because I'm going to be talking exclusively about my beloved basketball team, the Los Angeles Lakers. And if you guys aren't familiar with my supporter origin series, right? It's where I talk about a team that I support in a different sport that I watch and why I support them, how I started to support them, this and that, why I love them so much, and a little bit of their history. And today it's all about the LA Lakers, baby, you know? Oh man, in case you guys aren't aware of how basketball works, you know, they obviously play in the NBA, specifically in the Pacific Division of the Western Conference, and we play our home games at Crypto.com Arena, which we also share with our rivals, the Los Angeles Clippers, and also our WNBA affiliate, the Los Angeles Sparks, and we also share it with the NHL hockey team, the Los Angeles Kings, because, you know, everybody who's from LA wants to play at freaking Crypto.com Arena. It used to be the Forum way back in the day, man, the 70s, the 80s. I miss that so much. Although I don't know how I can miss it because I wasn't born yet, but still, it's nostalgic, you know. If you guys saw my video talking about the legacy, the true story of the LA Lakers, what that I did for Telechassis some time ago, you're gonna see all of that story there. This is going to be quite possibly my last basketball related vlog on this channel because it's been a lot lately and I've been trying to cram in some content that involves other things and whatnot. But anyway, my story with the Lakers is actually very interesting. You know, I've done a lot of basketball content on this channel starting way back with NBA Live 19 and trying to do a few, you know, early vlogs about players like Michael Jordan and some other stuff, like how I almost played professional basketball, how I started liking it, you know. And since then, it's been a few years and I am a much bigger fan of the NBA now. I love basketball. I've seen quite a few historic games already at this point. And so my NBA content here has, you know, shifted, has gotten better and improved quite a lot, you know. And on my final stretch of doing WNBA related content like an NBA 2K24 and vlogs and stuff, you know, I'm going to talk about my love for the Lakers. And it's very interesting because I actually started supporting them for a very sad reason, right? It was because of the passing of Kobe Bryant back in 2020. And I've always associated him with the Lakers and basketball and athleticism and sports and success and whatnot, right? So I always kind of admired him even before I watched him play basketball. So when he went, it was kind of like, you know, I don't know, it almost felt like the Lakers were calling to me. You know, it's like he left such an impactful legacy in Los Angeles that it drew me in. So when I started to watch basketball and get more into it for the sake of making content on my channel, I started to fall in love with the Lakers very quickly, you know? And so like everything about them just started bringing me in, their history, their championships, you know. They are one of the most successful teams in basketball and also sports in general because they have won 17 NBA championships, which they were tied with the Boston Celtics, ironically our biggest rivals, you know, until recently where the Celtics won their 18th ring, but more on that later. I'm gonna talk about, before I get more into how I came to grow, you know, into them, you know, there is more to the story. I'm going to first talk a little bit about their history, you know, some of their awards and titles and whatnot. But before that, let's take a look at a clip here from, well, either a clip of old school Lakers players or maybe old school photos of Lakers players. Pretty nice, huh? Very nostalgic for all you old-timey Lakers fans out there. Did you guys know that the Lakers weren't actually always called the Los Angeles Lakers? You see, they were founded back in 1947 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So they were actually called the Minneapolis Lakers. And they played in the NBL, or the National Basketball League at the time. And they played in that league from 47 to 48. And then from 48 onwards, they played in the National Basketball Association, which is known as the NBA, right? And then something crazy happened. They were always called the Minneapolis Lakers, but then in 1960, something changed. They relocated to California, you know, specifically LA, and that's when they became rebranded as the Los Angeles Lakers and have never looked back since. 1979, Jerry Buss, businessman, you know, bought the Lakers, and the rest is history, man, you know. Up until that point, we had actually won quite a few titles. You see, the Lakers technically have 18 NBA championships, counting the one that they won in the National Basketball League back in 1948, but the NBA specifically, we have 17, so that's why, you know, the Celtics edge us out by just one title. But it's still pretty impressive if you ask me. Our most recent title was in 2020, you know, in the bubble, the COVID pandemic. That was a very, very bad situation, but we still managed to get through it, you know, backed by, you know, the passing of Kobe Bryant and also the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, that was a very symbolic, you know, that was a very symbolic NBA ring for us, you know. I still have WNBA on my mind. We also have 19 conference titles, right? The last one also being in 2020. So 2020 was really the last great, you know, era of the Lakers. You know, we actually were doing pretty well in the recent playoffs, but unfortunately we just fell short, right? We also have a whopping 34 division titles. The very first one was back in 1948 in the NBL, right? And the other 33 were in the NBA, the last one also being in 2020. We also won the very first inaugural NBA Cup, you know, back in 2023, which was played in Las Vegas. It's very interesting, you know, because the Lakers do have, there's a very long and cherished and rich history of winning. But the problem with a team like the Lakers is that, you know, when you're so used to winning and having so many great players, you know, and your fans are always expecting for you to go all the way, there is a lot of pressure for a team like that, you know, because the Lakers are worth millions, maybe even billions of dollars in the sports industry, you know, a lot of marketing it. So it's like the Buss family knew how to make money with it and still do today, you know. Today, Jeannie Buss is the general manager, the owner, because her father passed away and her siblings don't really want to talk to her, you know. So, and the Lakers have had quite a few amazing players throughout their history, you know, starting all the way back with number 52, which was, no, sorry, not 52, 99, which was George Mikan, Mr. Basketball himself, you know. And as the years went on, you know, just to name a few, we had Jerry West back in the 60s. Later we had Will Chamberlain, and also at one point we also had James Worthy, an honorable mention. I just forgot exactly when he played. But then you fast forward a little bit more, you have the Showtime era with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know, the legendary Skyhook and all of that. Fast forward just a little bit more, you've got the 90s with Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. After Diesel left, it was just Kobe, you know, just the Mamba all the way taking over with Pau Gasol and a few other players as well. So when you fast forward now to the modern day era, all we think about is LeBron James. We got the big man Anthony Davis, right? Right now, there are some good players like Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, you know, and Rui Hachimura is the Japanese guy who's still finding his footing, you know, but there's the next generation with Bronny James, right? LeBron's son. So, and there have been players who have passed through who haven't really had as much of an impact as they could have had, like Russell Westbrook. Like, there have been so many great players who have played with the Lakers, but it's a very, very heavy shirt, you know. That jersey weighs down heavily on anybody who puts it on. You don't just put on the purple and gold just for fun, you know. When you put that on, you're locked in, you know. There's no more fun in games. You're serious, right? It's the Mamba mentality that Kobe preached throughout his time there. So it's crazy, man. But when the Lakers, when you're used to winning so much, it's just like the New England Patriots in the NFL. Like when you win a championship, right? You don't even win for the sake of winning. You win for the relief of not losing. So it's complicated. It's very, very complicated. But before I continue, let me show you guys something else. Maybe some more photos or probably a clip from an old-timey Lakers era, you know, or something of the sort. Let's go.
There's a pass to Schaefer, and George Mikan hits with a tap-in as Schaefer misses the mark. On a pass from Pollard, Mikan feints Nichols out of position and lets it go. It's no good.
Biggest lead of the game for the Lakers, 9. Detroit, that is. Kareem cuts it to 7. 9-point lead by the Pistons is now.
Bryant on the drive. Shot clock at 5. On the pull-up, puts it up, puts it in. Kobe Bryant, 34 points.
Boy, really trying to find Zubac. Such good play by AD. LeBron drained down the track. Look out!
Blocking foul.
That's a three-point attempt.
All right, now let's continue. Building just a little bit on what I just said momentarily ago, about the greatest players. 26 Hall of Famers in total have played for the Los Angeles Lakers throughout their storied history, Like, for example, Elgin Baylor, who I forgot to mention, he played from 58 to 71. I mentioned James Worthy, and I said that he played in around the same time period as the olds, but no, he's actually more recent. I remember he played from 82 to 94, so he was right there during that Showtime Lakers era. Fans of the Lakers who have watched, basketball for decades could probably argue that the greatest era for them was the 80s, like the mid to late 80s where they were on fire, right? It was freaking insane, man. Like, that was a very, very good era because, like, we had won 2 championships in a row but didn't three-peat. We only went on a three-peat, spree, in the early 2000s with Kobe and Shaq. So we won a championship in 2000, 01, and 02. So that was freaking crazy. There is like a Mandela effect of sorts where some people remember it as 2001, 2002, 2003, but that's whatever you believe. And we also happen to hold, and still to this day, we have the longest winning streak in the NBA with 33 straight games, which was established in 1971 to 1972, which is insane. And this is where I come in. The Lakers have a very, very long and amazing, incredible history in sports, right? Because we were the first team to introduce cheerleaders, the Lakers girls, right? Which every single other team copied in every other sport since then. But we started that. Jerry Buss was a visionary. With me, it was more like I guess maybe a spur of the moment thing, right? Because like I grew up in America, and I support teams that are from Florida, like in hockey, I support the Florida Panthers. In football, I support the Miami Dolphins, and like in baseball, I'm starting to levitate a little bit towards the Miami Marlins, that kind of thing. So all logic would point to me actually supporting the Miami Heat. There are even photos of me as a youngster wearing their jersey and stuff, But I don't know, for some reason it just never happened. When I got into basketball, I really gravitated towards the Lakers, I don't know, man. There's something about them that just felt right. And it all started with Kobe Bryant when he passed away. So it's like, in order to like honor him in a way, so to speak, I wanted to support the Lakers, right? I just felt like, I'm going to be a Lakers fan now because of Kobe. And I have not looked back since. I don't regret it at all because I started supporting them and watching basketball around 2018, 2019. So I pretty much around the time that LeBron was signed, so he was already at the top of his game. And since then, I've seen him break quite a few records, play a few amazing games, quite a few actually. I saw the NBA title in 2020, so it's insane, man. It's really, really nice because it makes me feel more connected to the sports world and America as a whole. And I would love to one day visit California and watch a game live, right? So it's sort of I don't know how to explain it. The Lakers, they emulate this sense of home, right? Like, because of all the great players who have gone through there, all of the amazing, title runs, even when we lose, it still felt amazing to watch, right? All of the rivalries and matchups and the moments in the arenas. Everything about the Lakers just screams basketball, right? And you might think, well, you support the Lakers just because they happen to be the most popular team. Everybody supports the Lakers, right? Well, not really, right? Because I started to watch them before I even knew about their history. I even knew about their story. It all started with Kobe Bean. Everything started with the Mamba, And since then, I have just fallen in love with them so passionately. Researching about them on Wikipedia and other sports articles online, watching documentaries and films, right? Watching the actual games, highlights on YouTube and other stuff, interviews, and looking at photos online. Everything just drew me in. And before I knew it, I was already bleeding purple and gold, right? It didn't even take that long, and today I love them so much. And the best part, I got my dad to support them too, right? My dad didn't even watch basketball, but I got him to watch with me and support the Lakers with me. So now, got my old man, my best friend in the whole world, watching basketball with me. It's awesome, The same way he got me into watching soccer with him. So that's pretty much it, man. It's freaking crazy. And I didn't really play a lot of basketball as a kid growing up, even though people told me that I should have because I was tall. Then I realized how much taller actual NBA players were in comparison to me. I think maybe I'm like Steph Curry height, you know, maybe a little shorter, a little taller, but I just love basketball, you know, I love playing it, you know, it's freaking crazy. And it's so nice to have another entry in my supporter origin series, right? If you guys haven't been following along, I've already done one talking about, the very first one was this one here, talking about the Florida Panthers, where the same exact format, talking about the Panthers, why I like them, you know, why I support them, this and that, the nostalgia, all of that stuff, you know. Then after that, some time ago, I did the sequel, which was the same video, the supporter origins for the Miami Dolphins, you know, why I support the NFL team. So it's freaking crazy. But the Lakers are different. They're a little different. And before I continue and go into the final stretch, one more final thing here, maybe some clips or more photos, I don't really know. Also, just as a little side note, coincidentally, and this was already a thing before I even, you know, started supporting the Lakers, you know, purple was my favorite color, still is actually. It's been my favorite color for a while now, and it just matched so perfectly, you know, when I started to support the Lakers, right? Because we do have purple and gold as the main colors, right? But our uniform scheme, basically how it works is this: we have the icon, which is yellow, right? Then we have the statement, which is all purple. It's kind of like home and away, but there's no actual rule to using home and away, right? Every NBA team has their own colors, but we all have the association uniform, which is all white, you know. The Lakers have a statement one, which is black with, you know, some details, and purple looks really nice. There's also the classic white one, which we released a couple of years ago, right? Like the George Mikan era, throwing it back to the 1940s and 50s. So it's really nice. Even the color scheme just really speaks to me a lot, right? So I love basketball and I love the Lakers, and it just feels really good, you know. When I finally started to get into the NBA, which was very quick, you know, like I started consuming a lot of it. I became a fan very quickly, and I don't like using this word, but at the time it is what was going on. I was a tad bit obsessed with basketball, you know, because it was a new sport and I had only ever watched soccer, so I got into it really quickly, you know, the soccer back in the day, and basketball even more so. And the same thing happened with other sports that I watched, football and then later hockey, you know. Actually, I think hockey came first, then later football, I don't remember, but still, it was very interesting, so I consumed it so much. And, you know, like if you, for example, ask me who the greatest player of all time is, or rather the best player of all time, I'm gonna say Kobe Bryant. Maybe, just maybe, like, depending on what the context is and what you ask me, I might even say LeBron James, right? You could call it nepotism because they play for the Lakers, you know, one did play and one still plays right now, but because Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Nobody can deny that, but just because he's the greatest doesn't mean he's necessarily the best, you know? I think that Kobe was a lot more driven, you know, he really embodied, you know, he played for 20 years for the Lakers, so he really embodied the purple and gold, right? LeBron has been playing there since 2018, so we're going on, what, 6-7 years now, right, more or less, when he signed his contract. So it's also a pretty long time, right? So it's very, very interesting how times change, because LeBron has been in the league for 21 seasons, right, and he's still playing really well with the Lakers. I have seen such a few, you know, I have seen quite a few incredible clutch performances and amazing highlight moments by him as well. So yeah, I think I might be going off the rails a little bit here, but that is the story basically of why I decided to support the Lakers, you know. Everything about them just screams yes, you know, just pulls me in, and it's nice, and hopefully my kids one day will follow in my footsteps and support the same sports teams. Maybe not for the same reasons, right, but still support the same teams. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video. If you also support the Lakers, what your story is, you know, why you support them, why you like them. I'll definitely post something in the community tab here and there, a poll or two, quizzes, all of that stuff. So yes, and that is it for now. Finally ending my basketball related content that's been going on for, I feel like, a longer time than it should have, because I halted my content creation a little bit because of work. More on that later. And that's it, guys. Oh, if you happen to enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too, so I can know exactly what time I upload, and it's all good. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.